In the yesterday's class, we have studied about the 5 kingdom classification. See, I have given introduction about the biological classification in the previous class. There we have studied 2 kingdom classification, 3 kingdom classification, 4 kingdom classification, 5 kingdom classification, and also 6 kingdom classification. Now, but nowadays we are using only 5 kingdom classification that is given by R.H. Whittaker. Okay, according to Whittaker, he classified the organisms into 5 different kingdoms. First one is Monera and Protista and fungi, then Plantae and Animalia. So he has given 5 different kingdoms and he looked at all different organisms in the respective biological group. Okay. Students, today I am going to teach you the first kingdom, that is Kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera. You all know while classifying the organisms, R.H. Whittaker considered different characteristic features shown by living organisms, isn't it? He take in account of cell structure, cell wall structure and constitution, mode of nutrition, habitat, type of reproduction. So like this, so many characteristic features he considered and he classified all the organisms into 5 different kingdoms. Among those, the first kingdom is Monera. Okay, see, all unicellular prokaryotic organisms are dumped in this kingdom, that is Monera. See, the organisms belongs to kingdom Monera, all are unicellular and they are prokaryotic. All are unicellular. Unicellular prokaryotic organisms. Okay, the organisms comes under the kingdom Monera. They are all unicellular prokaryotic organisms. Okay, what is meant by unicellular organisms? The organism's body is made up of only a single cell. So that type of organisms are called as unicellular, and that cell only it performs all metabolic activities. Okay, the organisms which are made up of single cell are called as unicellular. All Monerans, all organisms which comes under the kingdom Monera, they are all unicellular in nature. Okay, the cell type is unicellular and they are prokaryotic. So pro means primitive. Pro means primitive. Pro means primitive. What is primitive means? At first. Primitive means first. And carrion means nucleus. Carrion means nucleus. The organisms which have primitive nucleus. The organisms which have primitive nucleus. Those are called as prokaryotic organisms. What is meant by primitive nucleus? The nucleus did not surrounded by membrane. Nucleus is present, but it is not membrane bound nucleus. So that's why it is called as false nucleus. Okay, so false nucleus is present, so that is also called as primitive nucleus. Primitive means nucleus is not surrounded by nuclear membrane. Membrane bound nucleus is absent. So such type of nucleus is found in prokaryotes and the organisms are called as prokaryotic organisms. Okay, primitive nucleus is found. True nucleus is absent here. Okay, membrane bound nucleus is absent here. So such type of organisms are called as prokaryotic organisms. Okay, and then see these organisms which comes under the kingdom Monera, they are all bacterians. All the bacteria there comes under the kingdom Monera. The kingdom Monera involves or it includes. So bacteria are the sole members of this kingdom. So it includes all the bacteria. It includes all the bacteria. That means all type of bacteria are grouped under the kingdom Monera. Okay, and the study of the bacteria is called as bacteriology. Branch of biology deals with the study of bacteria it is called as bacteriology. Okay, so all the bacteria comes under the kingdom Monera. Okay, see, let us study about the characteristic features of these bacteria. Okay, so these are the sole members of the kingdom Monera. Bacteria are the sole members of the kingdom Monera. Characteristic features, general characteristic features. General characteristic features. So you all know these are microscopic in nature. Microscopic, unicellular. These are microscopic, unicellular, prokaryotic organisms. Bacteria are the microscopic, unicellular, prokaryotic organisms. You know microscopic means? So these organisms are not visible to our naked eye. Okay, so such type of organisms are called as microscopic organisms. Unicellular, that means they are made up of single cell. Prokaryotic means they do not contain membrane bound nucleus. Okay, so these are called as bacteria. Okay, bacteria are the microscopic, unicellular, prokaryotic organisms. Okay, they are cosmopolitan in nature. They are cosmopolitan in nature. What is meant by cosmopolitan in nature? Cosmopolitan means we can find the bacteria everywhere. Okay, bacteria ella kadelu irutte. Even in the hot springs it is found. Even in the snow areas, cold areas also it is found. Even it is also found deep in the ocean. They are also found in boiled water. Okay, and they are also found inside and outside the body of the organisms. So like this, it can found everywhere. The bacteria we can see everywhere. In different types of habitats, we can find the bacteria. So that's why it is called as cosmopolitan in nature. That means we can find the bacteria in every place. Okay, so that is known as cosmopolitan in nature. If we take a handful of soil, ಒಂದು full bauxite ನಾವು ಮಣ್ಣನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, so that soil also contains millions of bacteria. Okay, so that's why they are very abundant. So abundant means enormous number of bacteria are found on this nature in this earth. Okay, so and they are cosmopolitan. We can find these bacteria everywhere. Okay, in extreme conditions also. Extreme conditions means highly acidic condition, highly salty condition, like this. Okay, and highly cold condition. In these conditions also they can survive. Okay, so that's why these are called as cosmopolitan in nature, and they are abundant in their number. Enormous, lots of number of bacteria are found everywhere on this earth. Okay, next third. See, these bacteria, they are different in their shapes and size. The shape and size can vary. Shape and size of the bacteria can vary. Okay, shape and size of the bacteria can vary. So, different varieties of bacteria are found. Okay, so sizes. Okay, they are microscopic, no, so that's why their size varies some microns to some point microns. So the size variation we can see in case of bacteria. They shows variations in their shapes and sizes. Okay, based on the shape, we can classify the bacteria into 4 different types. Shapes of bacteria, we can classify the bacteria into 4 different types. 4 different types based on their shape. Based on their shape. Based on their shape, we can classify this bacteria into different types. If the bacteria are spherical in their shape, if they are spherical in their shape, such bacteria are called as cocci. If they are spherical in their shape, see, if the bacteria are spherical in their shape, such bacteria are called as coccus bacteria. Cocci is plural, coccus is singular. Okay, so cocci is plural, coccus singular. See, if the bacteria shape is round in its structure, round in its shape. Okay, if they are spherical in their shape, those bacteria are called as cocci. Okay, next, if they are rod shaped, so such bacteria are called as bacillus bacteria. If they are in rod shape, so such bacteria are called as bacillus bacteria. Bacillus or bacilli. Bacilli plural, bacillus singular. Bacilli. Okay. Next, if they are in spiral shape or in elongated shape, if they are in spiral shape, such bacteria are called as spiruli. Spiruli. Okay, spiruli. See, if they are elongated in their shape, such bacteria are called as spiruli. Okay, and spirillus is the singular. If they are coma shape, if they are found in coma shape, such bacteria are called as vibrio. Okay, vibria. Plural is vibria and singular is vibria. Okay, see, like this, different shapes are found in these bacteria based on their shape. Based on their different shape, they can classify into cocci, bacilli, spiruli and vibria. Okay. See, if the bacteria are unicellular. Okay. So most abundant bacteria are the bacilli bacteria. Okay. And we also take that bacteria only for study purpose. Okay. Next, see, if they are unicellular, see, unicellular bacteria, if they are found, see, these are the cocci bacteria. If 2 cocci, they are found together, these are unicellular. Basically, these are unicellular. If 2 cocci, if they come and attach with each other, so that type of bacteria are called as diplococci. Okay, diplococci. Okay, if they are found in linear form, okay, if they form chains, see, or some bacteria, unicellular bacteria, cocci bacteria, if they form in a chain form, if they form a chain, so such type of bacteria are called as streptococcus bacteria. Streptococcus bacteria. They are called as streptococcus. If they form in chain, okay, found in chain. If they found in, like this, in a cluster form, if they form a cluster, okay, many number of bacteria they form together, and if they form a cluster, so such type of bacteria are called as Staphylococcus bacteria. Staphylococcus bacteria. So like this, based on the number they found. Okay, if 2 cocci are formed together, that is known as Diplococcus bacteria, and if they are found in chains, those are called as Streptococcus bacteria. If they are found in cluster, they are called as Staphylococcus bacteria. See, bacteria, they are very simple in their structure. Bacteria are very simple in their structure, but they are very complex in their behavior. Simple in their structure. They are simple in their structure, but complex in their behavior. Complex in their behavior. Okay, they are very simple in their structure. Okay, they are made up of single cell only. They do not contain membrane-bound nucleus. They do not contain any membrane-bound organelles. So such type of cell is called as prokaryotic cell, and all the bacteria are prokaryotes only. Prokaryotes means there is no true nucleus or membrane-bound nucleus, and there are no membrane-bound organelles. All the organelles are found in the cytoplasm only, and all metabolic activities are taking place in the cytoplasm only. So such a simple type of bacteria, simple structured bacteria, it shows complex in their behavior. Okay, so what are the behaviors they are showing? That means they found in everywhere. Okay, we can see those bacteria, we can find the bacteria in extreme hot conditions, extreme acidic conditions, in extreme cold conditions, highly saline conditions they are found. They are also found in deep in the ocean also, and they are also found in and outside the body of organisms. Okay, like this, and they are found everywhere. Okay, and also they are different in their mode of nutrition. Different types of bacteria, they are adapted different type of or different mode of nutrition. Okay, and some of the bacteria they can live without oxygen also. Okay, and like this different behaviors shown by these bacteria, and some are beneficial to the animals and some are harmful to the animals and also the plants. So like this, so many different characteristic features or behavioristic features we can see in the bacteria. So that's why they are called as, if they are very simple structure, if they have very simple in their structure, but they are very complex in their behavior. Okay, and so these bacteria, so these are the only the organisms which shows extreme metabolic activities. So it's very important. These bacteria, these are showing. So these are the only organisms. These are the only organisms showing extreme metabolic activities. Showing extreme metabolic activities. So this is very important. So they are very diverse in their metabolic activities. Okay. Now these bacteria, see, come to the nutrition. These are autotrophic and also they are heterotrophic in their mode of nutrition. Okay, we can see autotrophic and also the heterotrophic mode of nutrition in bacteria. They may be autotrophic, may be autotrophic in their nutrition, autotrophic in mode of nutrition, and also heterotrophic. heterotrophic in their nature. What is the meaning of autotrophic? The organisms which can prepare their own food. Okay, so such organisms are called as autotrophic. Autotrophs and the helping. Okay, the organisms prepare their own food. They are called as autotrophic organisms. Heterotrophic means the organisms which depend upon other organisms for their food. Okay, so bacteria are both autotrophic and also heterotrophic in their nature. So come to the autotrophic, they are showing, see, some are photosynthetic autotrophs, some are photosynthetic autotrophs, and some are chemosynthetic autotrophs. Chemosynthetic autotrophs. Autotrophs. Okay. What is meant by photosynthetic autotrophs? So these are the organisms which use sunlight for the preparation of their food. By using the light energy, they are going to prepare their own food. So such bacteria are called as photosynthetic autotrophs. Photo means light. Okay, by using light, they are going to synthesize their own food. Such type of bacteria are called as photosynthetic bacteria. So photosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. And what is meant by chemosynthetic bacteria? So these bacteria, they are not going to use light energy, but they are going to prepare their own food. How they are going to prepare their own food? See, the energy released by the chemical activities which are taking place inside the body of those organisms, those bacteria, that released energy is going to be used by these bacteria to prepare their energy. Okay, they are going to use the energy released by the chemical reactions which are taking place in their body. Okay, that energy is going to be used to prepare their own ATP. ATP means it is a form of energy. Okay, this energy is going to be synthesized by the chemosynthesis, chemoautotrophic mode of nutrition they are exhibiting. Okay, this energy is going to be produced by the food is going to be produced by the light energy. Here the food is going to be produced by utilizing the energy produced by the chemical reactions taking place in their body. So such type of nutrition we can see in case of bacteria. And these bacteria, they are heterotrophic in nature. Heterotrophic means they depend on other organisms for their food. So heterotrophic means, heterotrophic, I will write here only. Heterotrophic, most of the bacteria, heterotrophic bacteria, they are the saprophytic in their nature. Saprophytic. Saprophytic means these are the bacteria which are growing on dead and decaying organisms. Okay, and they do the decomposition activity there, and they will get their food by the process of decomposition. Okay, these bacteria they find their food. See, they find their food through decomposition process. Okay, see, what is decomposition? The breakdown of complex organic molecules into simple inorganic ones. So that process is called as decomposition. See, the decomposition activity takes place by these heterotrophic bacteria. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಅನಿಮಲ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ಪೇಪರ್ ಮತ್ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಡಂಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯಲಿ ದೇ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ಸಮ್ ಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್, ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ, ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಅನದರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ. ಸಿ ಡಿಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕೊಳಿತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಕೊಳೆಯುವಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಕೊಳೆಯುವಿಕೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ವೇಸ್ಟ್, ನಾವು ಅನಿಮಲ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಕೊಳೆಯುವಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅವುಗಳ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಕಾಂಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವ್ದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೆಟೆರೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ. ಯಾವ್ದು ಸತ್ತ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳ ದೇಹ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಾವು ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಊಟ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಹಾಗೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ಸೊ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಗುರುತು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಆ ಬಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೊಳತು ಹೋಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆತ್ತು ಹೋಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ಡಿಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ that process is performed by the heterotrophic bacteria by the process of decomposition. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಈ ಡಿಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ನ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಡದೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ, ಕೊಳಿದೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ, ಸತ್ತ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳ ದೇಹ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವುಗಳು ಡಿಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ಗೆ ಒಳಗಾಗದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್, isn't it? See, they are very beneficial to us. Okay, see, when we come to the point decomposition, they are very beneficial to us, heterotrophic bacteria. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಅದು ಕೊಳೆದೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅವುಗಳ ರಾಶಿನೇ, ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಗಳ ರಾಶಿನೇ ಇರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ. ಓಕೆ, ವಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ that our world or our earth without decomposers. Okay, so that is not decomposition. Decomposition ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ they will take their food. Decomposition ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, they absorb their food, they get their food by means of absorption. Okay, so these are called as anaerobic bacteria ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಇವುಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So these are the some of the general characteristic features regarding bacteria. Okay, so we shall study the types of bacteria and their characteristic features in the next